You might be surprised, but there's one incredibly simple bedtime habit that can help men over 50 regain control, improve pelvic blood flow, and reduce oversensitivity in just a few weeks. Large U.S. Studies show that more than half of men between the ages of 50 and 70 start noticing very subtle changes. Firmness isn't as stable. Sensitivity increases too quickly, and the body reacts faster than they want. Most men think these are signs of decline, but they're not. These changes are simply signals that the nerves, pelvic floor muscles, and circulation have become imbalanced after years of stress, sitting, low activity, and natural aging. And the good news is, a single natural oil, when used the right way before bed, can calm the pelvic nerves, improve circulation, and restore natural control without medication and without complicated tricks. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in a scientific, safe, and effective way. And more importantly, why this method is especially powerful for men over 50 the age, when the body becomes more sensitive to even small lifestyle changes. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, a urologist who has worked with men in their 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and 70 seconds for more than 14 years, and one thing has become very clear to me over the years. Most older men only need a few small changes in their daily routine to see major improvements in control, firmness, and confidence. But unfortunately, most don't know where to start. They often think they need strong medications, they need complicated exercises, or that getting older means accepting it. But the truth is the complete opposite. There are natural, safe, extremely effective methods that work especially well for men. After 50, they simply haven't been shown how to do them correctly. In today's video, I'll show you the 3 most important things. 1. Why the pelvic nerves become more sensitive after age 50, and how this affects control. 2. How a natural oil can calm this entire region, improve blood flow, and release pelvic floor tension completely naturally. 3. A 7-step bedtime routine I've given to many of my patients with results usually appearing within 1-2 weeks. This is not about quick hacks or instant fixes. My goal is to help you understand your body and use the right method to restore the control that has always belonged to you. After age 50, 3 silent physiological changes begin, and they directly affect male control. First, pelvic nerves become more sensitive. As we age, the sensory nerves in the penis and perineum start firing faster than normal. This isn't weakness, it's overstimulation, after years of stress, sitting, or poor circulation. The result? The body reacts too quickly. Sensation arrives too soon. Control becomes harder. Second, pelvic blood flow decreases. The tiny vessels around the pelvis and penis are incredibly delicate. When they stiffen, narrow, or lose elasticity, something that naturally happens after 50, the control signals become disrupted. Sometimes that rushed feeling is simply because blood isn't flowing strongly at the right time. Third, pelvic floor tension becomes chronic. This is the part most men are unaware of. The pelvic floor, a small but critically important group of muscles, often becomes tight from years of sitting, stress, or natural age-related stiffness. When these muscles stay overly tight, they press on nerves and vessels, leading to oversensitivity and reduced control. In simple terms, the issue isn't willpower. It's an imbalance in nerves, circulation, and pelvic floor muscles. And the most important part is, all of this can improve. You just need the right method. No medication or complicated techniques required. In the next section, I'll show you exactly why a natural oil, when used properly before bed, can soothe the nerves, open blood flow, release pelvic floor tension, and restore natural control. Before we continue, I'd love to know, how old are you? And which US state are you watching from? Leave a comment below, I read every single one. And your feedback helps me create better content for men over 50 inches this community. The first thing I want you to understand is this. Natural oils are not just lubricants. They work much deeper than that. When used correctly, especially before bed, when the body enters its recovery mode, These oils can directly influence the three systems that determine a man's control after age 50: the nerves, the blood vessels, and the pelvic floor muscles. Let's start with the nerves. The pelvic region contains hundreds of tiny sensory nerves. After age 50, these nerves often become more reactive because of reduced circulation and mild, long-term tissue inflammation. When you massage oil into this area, you create a natural buffer that slows down how fast these nerves fire. It doesn't numb you, and it doesn't take away sensation. Instead, it softens and calms the nerve pathways, like placing a gentle filter over a system that's been working in overdrive. The result? Sensation arrives more slowly, more evenly, and you gain far better control over the pace. Next is blood circulation. Every time you apply oil to the base of the penis, the perineum, or the inner thighs, you activate countless microvessels beneath the skin. Oils such as castor oil, almond oil, or olive oil contain compounds that gently relax vessel walls, reduce tissue inflammation, and nourish the endothelium, the layer that controls how elastic and responsive your blood vessels are. When the vessels soften and circulation improves, firmness becomes more stable, and the rushed feeling naturally decreases. Many of my patients describe this as a warm, light sensation, spreading into the pelvic area, a clear sign that blood flow is opening up. Finally, the pelvic floor, a group of muscles that affects more than most men realize. When this muscle group stays tight for too long, it's like driving with your foot stuck on the gas pedal. Everything becomes quicker, more sudden, and harder to control. Massaging oil before bed helps the pelvic floor release gradually, like loosening a knot in a muscle that's been bracing for years. And when you pair this with slow, deep breathing, the pelvic floor responds even faster, bringing a lighter, more relaxed feeling and noticeably better control in intimate moments. In short, natural oils work as a three-layer therapy: calming nerves, opening blood flow, releasing the pelvic floor. And that's exactly why such a small bedtime habit can lead to results many men never expect. Among all the natural oils I guide my patients to use, castor oil always comes first. Not because of hype, but because of its unique ability to penetrate deeply, far beyond the surface layers of the skin. Castor oil contains a special compound called ricinoleic acid, which can travel through multiple skin layers and reach the tissues where the nerves and microvessels sit. Once it reaches those deeper layers, ricinoleic acid creates three powerful effects. First, it reduces tissue inflammation and calms overstimulated nerves. For men over 50, low-grade inflammation is extremely common due to long hours of sitting, reduced blood flow, and chronic tension. Castor oil helps quiet this irritation, making the nerves less reactive, which means sensations arrive slower and more evenly. Second, it increases microcirculation. Several studies in complementary medicine show that castor oil can enhance local blood flow. When you massage it around the base of the penis or the perineum, many men feel a mild warmth after just 2-3 minutes. That warmth is blood flow opening up the foundation of better firmness and more stable control. Third, it helps soften and relax the pelvic floor. Most older men have a tight pelvic floor without realizing it. That tightness accelerates sensation and makes control difficult. Castor oil helps soften the tissues so the muscles can relax more easily during massage, reducing pressure on the nerves. Several studies in complementary medicine show that castor oil can enhance local blood flow. When you massage it around the base of the penis or the perineum, many men feel a mild warmth after just 2-3 minutes. That warmth is blood flow opening up the foundation of better firmness and more stable control. Third, it helps soften and relax the pelvic floor. Most older men have a tight pelvic floor without realizing it. That tightness accelerates sensation and makes control difficult. Castor oil helps soften the tissues so the muscles can relax more easily during massage, reducing pressure on the nerves. If castor oil is the deepest penetrating oil, then almond oil is the gentlest and most balancing option for men over 50, especially those with a tight pelvic floor or a constant feeling of heaviness, fatigue, or mild discomfort in the pelvic region. What makes almond oil unique is its natural mineral profile. with magnesium being the most important. Magnesium plays a key role in regulating both muscle fibers and nerve activity. First, magnesium helps the pelvic floor relax more easily. Many men over 50 don't realize their pelvic floor is almost chronically tight. This happens after years of prolonged sitting, long-term stress, or the unconscious habit of lightly clenching the pelvic muscles. When you massage almond oil onto the perineum, the magnesium absorbs through the skin and helps the muscle fibers release naturally. No force, no discomfort, just a gradual softening, warming, and lightness in the area. Second, almond oil reduces excessive nerve stimulation. When nerves become oversensitive, a very common issue in older men, every stimulus becomes accelerated. The light, cooling, moderate absorption texture of almond oil helps stabilize these signals, almost like softening sensations that travel too fast. It doesn't reduce pleasure, it simply helps sensations arrive more smoothly and predictably. Third, it nourishes the pelvic tissues and skin. The pelvis and the base of the penis contain soft tissues that require moisture and nourishment. Almond oil is rich in vitamin E and healthy fats that support elasticity, reduce dryness, and calm mild irritation issues that often begin after age 50. Why is almond oil especially effective at night? Because when the body enters a relaxed state, almond oil works like a cooling reset for the nerves and pelvic floor. Many of my patients describe their experience after 3-4 nights as, "My lower abdomen feels lighter, the tension is gone, and my body's signals aren't rushing anymore." If castor oil is the deep therapy, then almond oil is the balancing therapy, ideal for men who need gentle, nightly relaxation. Among all oils beneficial for men over 50, olive oil stands out for its powerful ability to nourish the blood vessels. This matters tremendously because control, firmness, stability, and timing all depend on blood flow quality. The greatest strength of olive oil lies in its vitamin E and polyphenols compounds that protect vessel walls, reduce oxidative stress, and keep blood vessels soft, elastic, and able to expand easily. When vessel walls are more flexible, the process of sending blood into the erectile tissue becomes smoother, reducing that rushed feeling and improving both firmness and stamina. Another advantage is its balanced absorption. It doesn't penetrate as deeply as castor oil, but it also doesn't just sit on the surface like coconut oil. This makes it an excellent long-term choice for men who want to protect their vascular health while steadily improving control. The greatest strength of olive oil lies in its vitamin E and polyphenols compounds that protect vessel walls, reduce oxidative stress, and keep blood vessels soft, elastic, and able to expand easily. When vessel walls are more flexible, the process of sending blood into the erectile tissue becomes smoother, reducing that rushed feeling and improving both firmness and stamina. Another advantage is its balanced absorption. It doesn't penetrate as deeply as castor oil, but it also doesn't just sit on the surface like coconut oil. This makes it an excellent long-term choice for men who want to protect their vascular health while steadily improving control. Olive oil is especially helpful for men who feel their firmness is weaker than before, experience cold lower abdomen or cold hands and feet, want long-term sustainable vascular improvement. If castor oil is the deep therapy and almond oil is the relaxing therapy, olive oil is the nourishing and restorative therapy. If you're finding this helpful so far, leave a simple comment below. I understand circulation better now. It tells me you're following along, and it helps YouTube show this video to more men over 50 who genuinely need this information. If castor oil penetrates deeply into the tissues, almond oil calms the nerves, and olive oil nourishes the blood vessels, then coconut oil plays a completely different but extremely important role for men over 50. It reduces friction and prevents overstimulation on the surface. Coconut oil is the lightest oil among the four, and what makes it unique is its smooth, silky texture that creates a soft buffer between the skin and any form of stimulation. For older men whose nerves have become more sensitive, even a small amount of friction can send the finish signal too quickly. Coconut oil targets this exact issue. First, Coconut oil creates a very effective low-friction layer. If castor oil penetrates deeply into the tissues, almond oil calms the nerves, and olive oil nourishes the blood vessels, then coconut oil plays a completely different but extremely important role for men over 50. It reduces friction and prevents overstimulation on the surface. Coconut oil is the lightest oil among the four, and what makes it unique is its smooth, silky texture that creates a soft buffer between the skin and any form of stimulation. For older men whose nerves have become more sensitive, even a small amount of friction can send the finish signal too quickly. Coconut oil targets this exact issue. First, coconut oil creates a very effective low-friction layer. By staying on the surface, it creates a smooth glide that allows sensory signals to enter the nervous system more slowly, instead of rushing in the way they do when the skin is dry or friction is high. Many men describe this as everything calms down a bit, less sharp, less intense, smooth but still sensitive. Finally, coconut oil is ideal for situations where you want the feeling to be soft, gentle, and light, not heavy like castor oil, not absorbed like almond oil. It's perfect for men who just need a little comfort to help their body slow its pace. One important note I always tell my patients: coconut oil can weaken latex condoms, so if you're using protection, choose a different oil. In summary, castor oil is the deep therapy, almond oil is the balancing therapy, olive oil is the vascular therapy, and coconut oil is the soothing therapy, reducing surface stimulation and giving the nervous system time to process sensations more gradually. Now that you understand how each oil works, I want to guide you through a bedtime routine I've used with many men over 50. The key here isn't the amount of oil, it's the way you apply it, the rhythm you create, and how your body responds during the night, when recovery is at its strongest. Think of this routine as a gentle reset for your nerves, blood vessels, and pelvic floor. Step 1. Prepare a quiet space. Turn off your phone, lower the lights, and spend 2 minutes settling your body. The male body responds strongly to the environment. If the mind is tense, the pelvic floor will tense too. A calm space lowers nervous system activation by 30–40%. Step 2. Warm the oil in your hands. It takes only 10 seconds, but it makes a big difference. Warm oil softens the tissues, opens the blood vessels faster, and signals the nervous system to relax instead of react. Step 3. Massage the base of the penis, groin, and inner thighs. Use slow, small, circular motions. These areas contain many microvessels and nerve pathways connected to the pelvis. 60 to 90 seconds is enough to start opening circulation. Step 4. Massage along the shaft at a slow pace. The goal is not stimulation, it's retraining the sensory signals. When you move slowly, the nervous system is forced to slow down too. This is one of the most practical ways to retrain sensitivity. Step 5. Place your hand on the perineum. The area between the scrotum and the anus is the center of the pelvic nerve muscle vascular system. Press lightly with 2 or 3 fingers and make circular motions for 3 minutes. This is the most important step for releasing pelvic floor tension, something 90% of older men don't know they have. Step 6. Pause for 1–2 minutes to let the oil absorb. Do nothing. Just breathe slowly and allow the sensations to travel deeper into the pelvis. This is when the oil begins calming the nerves and opening the blood flow during stillness. Step 7. Finish with 5 deep breaths into the lower abdomen. This is the final signal that tells the pelvic floor to release completely. When the breath slows down, the body automatically shifts into recovery mode, and the oil works most effectively while you sleep. If you follow this routine for 5 to 7 consecutive days, your body will begin to respond. Nerve sensitivity decreases. Circulation becomes stronger. The pelvic floor stops tightening, and your control improves noticeably. This is one of the most natural foundations for restoring the confidence of a mature man. Many men believe control depends on willpower, but for men over 50, the real determining factor is blood circulation. When blood isn't flowing strongly enough into the pelvic region, the body reacts in one of 2 ways. Either it becomes difficult to maintain firmness, or it speeds up too quickly as a way to release pressure. Poor circulation means the small blood vessels become stiffer and less elastic. This is exactly what makes sensations feel rushed and harder to regulate. What's remarkable is that research from Harvard shows that just 30 minutes of brisk walking per day can reduce the risk of erectile dysfunction by nearly 40% and significantly improve control. And this is why natural oils, especially castor oil and olive oil, work so quickly. They soften the vessel walls, improve microcirculation, and reduce soft tissue constriction. When blood flows better, the signals become more stable, and the body responds at the pace you want. Among all the factors affecting male control after age 50, the pelvic floor is the most overlooked, yet it plays a role just as important as nerves and blood circulation. This muscle group acts like a hammock supporting the bladder, rectum, and sexual organs. When that hammock becomes too tight, everything above it is affected. What many men don't realize is that the pelvic floor can become chronically tight due to years of sitting, long-term stress, or even the unconscious habit of lightly clenching the lower abdomen when anxious. When the pelvic floor tightens, it compresses the nerves, increases sensitivity, and causes the body to react more quickly than normal. Natural oils, particularly castor oil and almond oil when massaged regularly, help these muscle fibers soften, release, and reduce pressure on the pelvic region. That's why many patients describe feeling lighter in the lower abdomen, less tense, or easier to control after just a few days. If you add a few gentle hip opening stretches before bed, like knee to chest or slow hip rotations, you'll feel an even more noticeable difference. A more open pelvic region, more stable signals, and immediate improvement in control. Using oils correctly before bedtime can create quick improvements, but for long-lasting change, you need to support the nervous system and circulation with a few simple habits. The good news is, these changes require very little time or effort. Start with sleep. Deep sleep stabilizes testosterone, reduces nerve overstimulation, and enhances natural control. Simply getting 7-8 hours per night dramatically boosts the body's ability to recover. Next is stress management. Stress causes the pelvic floor to tighten and the nerves to fire faster. Just a few minutes of slow breathing each night can reset the entire pelvic rhythm. Finally, nutrition and movement. Reducing sugar, eating more whole foods, and walking 20-30 minutes per day help keep the blood vessels soft and responsive, the foundation of firmness and control. When you combine oils, sleep, breathing, and gentle movement, you're rebuilding the most natural foundation for men's health after age 50. My friend, the most important thing I want you to take away from this video is this. The changes you experience after 50 are not the end. They're simply signals that your body needs the right kind of support. Natural oils, when used correctly, are only the beginning. What truly transforms your life is your own consistency each evening. Each small habit, each moment you choose to take care of yourself. If this video gave you new insight, or even a small sense of hope, please hit like so YouTube understands that men's health after 50 is a topic that truly matters. And I genuinely want to hear from you. What is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? Sensitivity, circulation, or pelvic floor tension? Leave a comment below. I read every single one, and your stories help me create better, more meaningful content for this entire community.